Hello, everybody. Bill Thornton, SoCalSabre here. Welcome to Spinning 60. This is the one that we talk about the music that I listened to this week, and it's going to be a little bit of a difference than normal. Normally, I do the album, 2 CDs album. Well, anyway, most of you know on January 30th there was a big concert and 2 concerts in L.A. to raise money because of the fires down in there. So I started watching the concerts and I was thinking, what the heck? I says, I wonder how many of these performers I have in my collection as far as music goes. Well, I started watching, I started checking my collection, I started checking some other things and everything. One thing that really surprised me, I don't know, I guess because I'm old and I'm always thinking younger and everything, is how old these performers were. A lot of them. And so, anyway, I ended up with 17 performers that performed with music in my collection. So, I spent the week this week, and for all you LP fans, please don't shoot me on this one. It's only CDs this week because it was a lot easier to pull out the CDs. Plus, the albums might have just been recently reviewed or something like that or listened to. So, anyway, there were 17 performers. And the ones that I did not listen to this week, I'll just give you a little information on them that are in my collections. Dave Matthews Band. I did not listen to it. There's only one CD in my collection, so I must not have been a real big fan of Dave Matthews. John Mayer, I didn't listen to. I have one CD in my collection from him. Joni Mitchell, didn't listen to. I only have one LP in my collection. It was very sad to see Joni Mitchell on that stage anyway, in my opinion anyway. I remember her as the young blonde little girl lady. Then Lady Gaga, I have one duet album with Tony Bennett in my collection, but I didn't listen to her either. Rod Stewart, I have a ton of my collections, and you guys were probably sick of me playing Rod Stewart for a while, so we took a little bit of a break because with Rod Stewart. Oh, first of all, I want to tell you, Dave Matthews. I was talking about the ages. Dave Matthews is 58. John Mayer, 47. Joni Mitchell, 81. Lady Gaga is a youngster, 38. Then Rod Stewart at 80 years old. Rod looked really old in the concert. He really did. But I have 11 LPs, 3 CDs, 1 CD box set, and 3 cassettes by Rod Stewart. So I really liked them over the years. Didn't listen to him. Didn't listen to Stevie Nicks. I have 2 LPs and 3 CDs by her. I didn't listen to Stevie Wonder, who is 74. By the way, Stevie Nicks is 76. Stevie Wonder's 74. I have 1 LP by him. And I didn't listen to Sting, who's 73 years old. I have 1 LP and 2 CDs. So, who did I listen to? Well, the first one I listened to was this was a 2010 album, and it's called The Greatest Hits So Far by Pink. I have 2 CDs by her in the collection. This was the first greatest hits album by her. It was released in 2010 in celebration of Pink's first decade on the music scene. It charted 26 different charts in various countries. The compilation debuted at number 14 on the U.S. Billboard 200 chart. It advanced to number 5 during the holiday season due to the success of the singles, which raised Pink's total number of top 10 hits to 11, and that of her number 1 singles to 3. I've always liked Pink. 45 years old now already. My goodness. Isn't that something how these performers have gotten old? And this tells me something about myself too, doesn't it? It's a nice little booklet in this one here. We will be next week back to our normal, doing mostly LPs. But most of these CDs we wouldn't have heard for ages anyway, because like this one, we're only like the CDs I pulled out the last time were like number 61 or 62. This is 703. We'll have to be doing this for a long time, pulling them out one at a time to get this high. So anyway, that was the greatest hit so far, the 2010 album by Pink. The next one I listened to was the what year was this done? Boy, I don't see that. I better click over here on this one here. Something. Okay, this is a 2009 album by Green Day, 21st Century Breakdown. Can you believe it? The Billy Joe Armstrong is 52 years old. I have 3 CDs in this. I have 2 CDs and 1 LP in my collection. This one here was their 8th studio album. And it's a concept album, much like their previous album, American Idiot. According to the band, is a remuneration of the era in which we lived in. We questioned and tried to make sense of the selfish manipulation going on around us. The record achieved Green Day's best chart performance to date, reaching #1 on the album charts in various countries, including the United States Billboard 200. Pretty good album. I enjoy. I really enjoyed listening to all of these this week because I had not heard these in so long. Yeah, the age has really got me going on this too. But I was surprised at how much I have in my collection by all of them. Green Day, haven't seen them in concert. See that Act 1, so there's a concept album. Again, if they didn't tell me that, I might not have known it. I don't really sit and study the lyrics to see what kind of sense they make. All right, it just goes on and on. The class of 13. So that was the 2009 album, 21st Century Breakdown by Green Day. Let's get this back in here. There we go. Almost back in. There we go. So, moving on. The next one I got, this lady surprised me. I was really shocked because I can't feature these people being this old. She is 50 years old. Alanis Morissette. The one I listened to this week was Jagged Little Pill. I have 4 CDs in my collection by her. This was her third studio album by the Canadian-American singer. And it was the first album to be released worldwide. It received 9 Grammy nominations, of which it won 5. Album of the Year, making her the youngest artist to win the award at the time. Best Rock Album, Best Female Rock Vocal Performance. Oh, really good. I really enjoyed listening to this again. I haven't heard it in so long. Now, like Alanis, or I probably wouldn't have 4 CDs in my collection by her either, would I? Okay, we're getting there. Don't forget, go down there and hit that like button, do all of that good stuff. If you're watching, you haven't subscribed, so yeah, please do so. This is not a CD channel. This is I have 2 relatively good sized collections. This just happens to be a special I'm doing for the music that was in my collections from the LA Fire concerts performers. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let me see what I got going here. Oh yeah, then of course I had to listen to Ironic, and then I had that stuck in my head all day long that day. On All I Really Want, You Ought to Know. You Ought to Know is kind of like a song that probably was written for me from when I was in my younger years, written about me. So the next performance that I did, and this was, they were both on the stage and they did sing together, and it was Stephen Stills and Graham Nash. Now, of course, I didn't have anything by them solos, but I did have material from CS and Young, which I listened to. Their greatest hits. No, David has passed away, but this was really, really a good album. And plus all of the work, I have a lot of work with CSN and Y and with Neil Young and that, but I wanted to try to get as close as I could to just these guys. And the songs Long Time Gone, Southern Cross, Marrakesh Express, Our House, Wood Chips, Teach Your Children, such great stuff. Then when this album did come out, it peaked at number 24. Let's see, we're going up here. The album was dedicated to Cass Elliot with great thanks to Neil Young. Although Our House, Teach Your Children, Carry On are on the Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young album Deja Vu, Young was not involved in those songs, allowing the greatest hits to be authentically. Then in my reading, I've just found out when they were all getting together, Crosby, Stills and Nash, and then they were so inexperienced when they went to Woodstock, and then they were asked by their band manager or the owner of the studio or album to take Young along. So they decided that they would not make it a name, that it would be Crosby, Stills, and Nash and Young. And that way they had various things, like they could be Stills and Nash or Crosby and Young and vice versa. I think you know what I'm talking about. So they had a lot of flexibility in there. So this was the three guys. But I can believe Stephen Stills is 80. Graham Nash is 83. Still playing, still singing. I subsequently have done a little research, and I've added a Graham Nash album and a Stephen Stills album to my look for list, so that I can have them something solo by them. There's a lot of really not good text in here. That's where I got some of this information from about them. So this was the boy, I didn't even have this one. Yeah, 2005 was it? Let me see what this was. Yeah, 2005. Greatest Hits album by Crosby, Stills, and Nash. So I wanted to highlight Stephen Stills and Graham Nash that were on the LA concert, Fire concert. Really good album. Check it out on your streaming services. All right, and then next we have an album called The Singles, 1992 to 2003 by No Doubt and Gwen, 55 years old. Holy moly. This was really shocking to me. I must be living in a dream world or something, that I'm old. I'm not old and everybody else is. It's a greatest hits album. And it features 13 of the band's single hits from 3 studio albums. And it reached number 2 on the U.S. Billboard charts. Really good. Here's some of these songs on here. I'll pick one out. Oh, Just a Girl. All of her songs are. I can't pick out any other ones. They were all good though. No Doubt. I have 3 CDs in my collection by them, if I didn't say that already. So that was No Doubt. What they call it, the greatest hits? No, the singles from 1992 to 2003. Good stuff. If I hadn't done this, I might have been 8 years and maybe never even listened to these CDs before again. Okay, second to last in the week. I picked the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And this is their 1999 album, Californication. What a good album this is. This one here was their biggest commercial success. You know, they were first formed in 1982, and then with in and out performers, in and out, in and out, in and out, you know, and they had fighting drugs and all of the stuff that people went through. This was their most commercially successful studio release to date. They hold the record for the most #1 singles on the American Alternative Songs Chart, 15. Most cumulative weeks at #1, 91. And the most top 10 songs, 20 on the Billboard Alternative Songs Chart. They've won 3 Grammys. They were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They've also received a star on the Hollywood Boulevard. Good stuff. What do I got by them? I have 1 LP and 6 CDs in my collection. So I must like them, huh? And when I'm all done, I have to file these back, find where they go back. Good thing they got numbers on them. Get them back in order, where they'll probably collect dust for a long time again. Because some of them had dust on the top of the jewel cases. And I haven't been showing you these, but this is one. So this was the 1999 hit by Red Hot Chili Peppers, Californication. All right, so my last one that I listened to was a 1997 album by John Fogerty called Blue Moon Swamp. I have 4 CDs by John Fogerty in the collection, and that does not mean any of the CCR stuff. I have CCR stuff, but just solo stuff by John Fogerty in the collection. This was his 5th solo album. In 1988, Blue Moon Swamp won Best Rock Album at the 40th Grammy Awards. The track Blue Boy was nominated for the Best Male Vocal Performance. And it charted top 50 on 12. The album charted in the top 50 in 12 different charts in various countries. Pretty good, you know, blues, southern rock, blues rock, you know, a little nice change of pace. You know, you guys know I like blues, and so I do like southern rock. But John Fogerty, 79 years old. Holy mackerel. What was this in my collection? This was 311. We were only at 61, 62. So that would have taken like 250 more to go. At 2 weeks, it would take me 125 weeks to do that. That's a long time. That's over 2 years to even get to this high. So seeing them, we're not going to see none of these in the near future on the CD pulls. That was it for my special this week. I hope that you all enjoyed that. All the music lovers saw the concert, got to see a lot of nice stuff, even though they're getting old, which makes me think a lot lately. So this is SoCalSabre saying, thank you very much for stopping by. This was number 60. We'll see you next week. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to each other. Stay safe.